Welcome in, everybody, to another MLS Monday by Scarves and Spikes. MLS Cup Monday.
That's
We
right.
are
Let's do
almost
it.
there. The season is almost over. MLS Cup is this coming Saturday, 2:30, Apple TV, Vancouver Whitecaps, Inter Miami, Thomas Müller, Lionel Messi, a couple of
What
guys
a
we've
matchup.
heard
What a
of.
matchup. Two legends.
What a wild one this one's
Oof.
going to be.
It's kind of surreal to think that
Yeah.
Messi and Müller are going to face off in MLS Cup. Like that kind of matchup is like it's a Champions League game or it's a World Cup game. The MLS that is truly wild.
Yeah, not even remotely the biggest game they've ever played against each other. You mentioned Henry World Cup final 2014. Germany won that one on a Mary Götze goal in extra time. Champions League matches, the whole 9 yards. But this is another one to add to the list. And even though it's not the biggest match they've ever played against each other, it is a real showpiece moment for Major League Soccer. What an advertisement, guys. This is going to be for the beautiful game here in the United States, going into, of course, 2026 and the World Cup coming up. So I'm excited. Tyler, Henry, I know you're excited. And we have a lot of great content coming out this week on the Scarves and Spikes YouTube channel here on the podcast feed as well. I don't know if we wanted to get into that now or leave it till later. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, we might as well throw out at least a little bit. Obviously we'll be kind of giving the reason we're not having a guest on the show specifically tonight is because we have multiple guests that we will be talking with throughout the week and putting that content out throughout the week for you to digest in whatever way you do before MLS Cup on Saturday. We just got done speaking with our very good friend Jake Ziven, who will be calling the match with Taylor Twellman on Apple TV, MLS Season Pass. So they will be down there, obviously in Fort Lauderdale Saturday, getting ready for the game, diving into what, I mean, on paper, I mean, has the potential to be one of the biggest MLS Cups, right? Like the two names alone sling a lot of weight. And that's just those two names. Forget the supporting cast of Vancouver that's had a phenomenal season, and forget the friends of Lionel Messi that are there that could change a game at any moment. Like there's so much in this one that it really is like, I think the more that I've been talking about it, because it's kind of come up after Thanksgiving, right? Like Thanksgiving happened, like the world kind of slows down, changes a little bit. Yeah. And then like Monday morning hit, and I was like, and this is going to be a good freaking match. It really is. I'm super excited about it.
Yeah. Part will be there'll be definitely, again, like I said, a showpiece event for Major League Soccer. Two of the biggest names in world football, of course, Lionel Messi, the greatest of all time, Thomas Müller, not the greatest of all time, but up there as one of the greatest players of all time, certainly in German football history. But guys, who would have thought 5 years ago that Lionel Messi and Thomas Müller would be meeting on a pitch in an MLS Cup final? Who'd have thought that Son Heung-min would be meeting Thomas Müller on a pitch in a conference semifinal? And it's just, this is a league where, it gets kind of a rap because it's a retirement league and all of that good stuff. But these are two players. This is going to be an incredibly competitive match, I think, at the very least. And I'm ready for it. And I know the eyes of the world will be on Fort Lauderdale. Final match, of course, in Chase Stadium history. But what a way to close out Chase Stadium with an MLS Cup. First MLS Cup final for both teams. Who will win? I mean, that's the big question. And we're definitely going to dive into the matchup a little bit later. But yeah, exciting times for MLS. Exciting times for world football as a whole, I think, Tyler and Henry.
Whole season's led to this, man. I mean, a season full of star players. For me, this has been the best regular season that we've had in a while because of how tight it was, because of how many legitimate contenders we had. I think going into the playoffs, obviously, you have your Miami and LAFC were probably favorites to start. Vancouver's probably also one of the favorites coming into the playoffs, but really it could have been anyone, because every team that made the playoffs, most of the teams that made the playoffs, they had some serious arguments to back up, their case for MLS Cup. And as we know from experience last season, anything can happen in the playoffs. Nothing is ever written in stone. The regular season doesn't matter a whole lot except to determine where the games are played. So I'm just these playoffs have been exciting. We've had some really, really fun games, some high scoring. And as a soccer fan and watching these games as a neutral, that is all I can ask for.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. It's really, we talked with Jake just a few minutes ago. We recorded with him, and again, that'll be coming out on the channel, so y'all keep an eye out for it. But one of the things that we kind of mentioned at the end was like, this feels like one of those like a UFC pay-per-view type, main event. It just really does feel like it's kind of got that vibe to it. And
the pink corner, standing at 5 foot whatever, it's Lionel Messi.
But it's got that kind of feel to it, and I like that. I'm super excited that, you have, whether it's because of whatever reasoning you want to put behind it, these were the two best teams overall throughout the season and into the playoffs, because we very much know they are essentially two separate seasons, but like they deserve to be here, right? I don't think we can argue. Like, you look back last year, the Red Bulls, they got there, and more power to them. But it was very, yeah, exactly. It was a struggle, and they were just happy to be there. That's kind of what it felt like. This year, both teams are very much going to be, I think, laying it all out on the pitch. And I wanted to start really quickly, just going through, because I know it's been circulated in some degree on social media and everything else, but a very quick, somewhat deep, but very quick dive into the last few times that these two gentlemen have met each other. So I'm going to go through it from most recent back in the day. And the fact that they've been playing each other for 15 years is insane to me. But here we go. From the past 10 games, all right? Believe it or not, Thomas Müller has scored twice as many goals as Lionel Messi in that time. He has scored 6 against Messi, whereas Messi has scored 3 against Thomas Müller. So, round of 16, Champions League, both legs in 22-23, Bayern Munich versus PSG. Bayern handled that one pretty well, 2-0 and 1-0.
Yeah.
2019-2020, the quarterfinals of the Champions League, Barcelona, Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich won that one aggregate 8-2. I'm sorry, not aggregate. It was 8-2, period.
Yeah, that's 2020 COVID, right? When they got rid of the legs in the quarterfinal.
Yeah. So then,
brutal.
Yeah, that's wild. And for what it's worth, Müller had 2 goals in that one. So go back to 14-15 semifinals, Munich, Barcelona. That was a good game, 3-2 to Munich. So going back in time, still, Thomas Müller is definitely the favored one so far.
So just real quick. So that 15th semifinal, that was 2 legs, and
yes.
Yeah. So Barcelona won the first leg 3-0, and Bayern won the second leg 3-2. So
yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, so like when it all rounds out, but I think the individual matches, we're still leaning obviously to Müller.
Yeah.
You mentioned that one. So then before that, or I guess really that same year, the infamous 2014 World Cup final, Germany, Argentina, both played 120 minutes. And as we know, Germany won that one 1-0. Then going back into the 2012-2013 season, again, Champions League, 4-0 Bayern over Barcelona. And Müller had 2 goals in that one as well. And then we'll go back a little bit further. Argentina over Germany in 2012. And then the World Cup in 2010 quarterfinals. Germany won that one as well, 4-0. And then before that, the only prior match was a 1-0 win for Argentina. That Messi played all 90 minutes. Müller played 67. So overall,
Müller has his number.
Really does. Overall,
7-3 and 0.
Very much leaning towards Müller. So if you look at the past 10 games, 7 in favor of Müller and 3 in favor of Lionel Messi, which is a weird stat when you consider who Messi is and what he's done.
I like how this list is like, okay, you have games between Germany and Argentina. Obviously, those are the national teams. You have games between Bayern and Barcelona in Champions League. And then at the bottom there's going to be this one random MLS Cup 2025. It's like, what?
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the matchup. And here's the thing, right? From my side, working with MLS to kind of cover this playoffs, a lot of the focus has obviously been on that matchup, but also Thomas Müller, when talking to the media, is a fun guy. Like his press conferences are fun, exciting. Like the dude's got personality. He's got charisma. And we were working with one of the videos from one of his interviews, I think when he first arrived, where he said, like, he was asked about Messi, right? And he said, yeah, obviously Messi is one of the best players to play the game. But then he looks straight at the camera and he says, but I'm hunting you. Well, he's found them. Now it's Müller versus Messi. So yeah, I'm excited for that. And also Müller said it at the end of the San Diego game of the Western Conference Final when he was asked, about facing Messi and about what that's going to be. And, obviously he said this is a final that he wished for. This is the final that he wanted. But I thought it was also interesting the mentality that he had when he answered the other part of it was that he feels that this should be more of Miami versus the Whitecaps than Messi versus Müller. And I think that part of that mentality is what makes him stick out as a player, because he's a star all in his own right, Thomas Müller. But he brings so much more than just, I'm going to nutmeg 3 guys and score a freaking bicycle kick or whatever. He's also a leader, and he's also just this great presence to be around. And he brings so much experience and so much, like he improves the players around him more than in just the soccer aspect. He also does that in the emotional aspect, I think, and the leadership that he brings, which I think is a really cool part of what he brings to the Whitecaps.
So I have a question that I had a point based on what you were saying. What's Messi like when he talks to reporters? I'm curious, Henry. And Tyler.
He doesn't.
That's my point.
Well, I mean, look, he's a great guy. Like that's the thing, right? He doesn't talk a lot. He doesn't give a lot of interviews, and that's okay, right? But like sometimes the interviews that he does have, the rare press conferences or whatever, like he's professional. Like he's kind of calm. I think you get the best of Messi when you watch him talking with like these streamers, like freaking Davo down in Argentina. When I think this was before Game 3 against Nashville, but he did a stream with talking with Messi, Suarez, and RDP, Rodrigo de Paul, all in the hotel, like getting ready for the game. And no, I mean, he looks like a normal guy at that point when he's just relaxed, and it's not like he's not in front of a room full of like dozens of journalists. Like he's just a normal guy, right? And he laughs and he trying to find the word in English, but he's just a funny guy. That's not like a class clown or anything, but he's just just your average dude.
No, and I say it kind of tongue in cheek because that's been the narrative, right? Messi never talks to American media the way other players do, and I know he did an interview in the U.S. with Tom Yamas from NBC Nightly News, and I guess didn't get a chance to see that, but it's rare that he gets that access to a reporter here in the United States, or a predominantly English-speaking audience in the United States, or platform in the United States. But you look at just sort of going back to Müller and just the leadership that he shows, just what he does on the pitch, and when he's even not playing. One thing that really stuck out to me from the conference semifinals, right, was when he was taken off. I think he picked up a knock, and Jesper Sorensen elected to take him off. We were kind of wondering, we were doing watch on. We're kind of wondering, hey, if this goes to penalties, you don't have Müller. But you can see Müller, and at one point you can see him yelling out instructions to his teammates, directing them and guiding them along. And that's just what you would expect from a player like Müller, a player of his class, a player of his experience. He's not here to just hang out and collect a paycheck, right? He's here to play. He's here to win football games. And now here he is, one win away from adding yet another trophy to his already decorated career. And yeah, that's just one of the things that stood out to me. So two totally different players that have contributed in two different ways, in so many different ways to the world of football, to global football. And Mueller's sort of the funny guy, like you said, Henry, but Messi's more reserved, more to himself, shy, I guess, but two contrasting personalities, two contrasting play styles. It's going to be fun. I'm really excited. And again, I said it earlier, what an advertisement for Major League Soccer going into 2026 to have Lionel Messi and Thomas Müller playing in the World Cup here, or the MLS Cup.
It's so interesting. I'll get to Omar and Colin's comments in a second because it kind of ties in. But like to what y'all are saying, Müller, he was here in Atlanta in June. Actually, it was July or early July for the Club World Cup, right? With Munich.
Yep.
And that seems like last summer. That seems like 2024, but that was like just a few months ago.
Yeah.
He was playing for Bayern Munich still, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't need to be said what he did for that club and what that club did for him, because Bayern is massive, but Müller was really the glue that held that team together for years. And
face of the club.
Yeah, 100%. And didn't ask him questions, but he did come down and be a part of like essentially the mixed zone.
Yeah.
A little bit different at the Club World Cup, but did the interviews after the match. Right. And he just, even though they had just got beat by PSG, who was down a man, Bayern didn't really play the best game. He comes down there and I'm not going to say he's all smiles, but he was very approachable and very like funny and very confident and very like enjoyable to talk to. And that's just kind of the vibe that he gives off. Like he never seems to like stress about stuff. And I say that to say you see it on the pitch. When he plays, he is that calming presence for the team that he plays for, whether it's the German national team, Bayern Munich, or now the Vancouver Whitecaps. And it's very interesting because I think when you watch, and we've watched over the course of the season and of course in the playoffs, one of the things that we've always talked about Vancouver is how they're playing, honestly, a very pretty type of soccer. Yeah. They play through a press, they play around it, and Muller's just made that much better now. Colin said in the chat, as a Whitecaps fan, I'm really not looking forward to watching Rodrigo de Paul roll around and whine all match. It's funny because there are, I think, so many fans looking at this MLS Cup final, and they are kind of looking at Miami as that New England Patriots with Tom Brady kind of situation. Like it's almost a hate watch in some respect. And then Vancouver is kind of the underdog, but they've got Thomas Müller and Sebastian Berhalter and a few other guys. And it's just so
an underdog having Thomas Müller does not sound right.
Sort of like the Lakers and Celtics of the 80s, something like that. Magic and Larry going at it every year. Yeah. Sort of like that.
It's two behemoths, but like it's just funny because you think, all right, Lionel Messi, Suarez, who may not start, probably won't start, Busquets, Alba, some of these guys, like this is their last match. And of course, Rodrigo de Paul, who has admittedly, I would say, been a bust for Miami since he's been here. And I think it's just so funny because you have so much star power on one team, and then you have the star and a whole bunch of guys that work really freaking good together. And it reminds me of that meme, where it's like, hey, what are we going to do? How are we going to win this? And it's like the power of friendship. That's what Vancouver has right now. And I love it. It makes me so happy.
Yeah. Just, on the subject of Vancouver, of course, Müller will be the main draw. But if you look up and down their roster, guys, the tremendous amount of talent that they have. I mean, you start at the very back, Yoi Takaoka, MLS goalkeeper of the year candidate, Tristan Blackman, MLS Defender of the Year, Ali Ahmed. You have Jaden Nelson. You go look at Seb Berhalter, who's come out of nowhere in 2025 and just been tremendous for the Whitecaps this season. Brian White, of course. We haven't seen too much of Ryan Gauld. We know what he's capable of. You know what he means to. Yeah, no, absolutely. And one of the things I was looking for when this team, was sort of the summer and doing well, even though Gauld was hurt, I was like, when Gauld gets here, they're going to be just that much better. And then week goes on, another week goes on, another week goes on, and he's still out. And like, how do they sustain this? Of course, they signed Müller, which, I mean, we know how that went, but yeah, they haven't needed him. But they have so many players. They have such strong talent where it's not just Müller, everybody else. It's Müller where the whole is greater than the sum of its parts, so to speak. And that's tremendous credit to Jesper Sorensen for collecting this group of, not even before Müller came here, for gathering this group of talent, gathering this group of players, and building a cohesive brand of soccer. Almost won Champions Cup. Let's not forget they got blown out in the final, but this has just been a cohesive group. This has been a fun group. This has been a group that has really coalesced around each other. Müller was just icing on the cake, and now here they are, win away from their first ever MLS Cup in club history. A year before, right? They were not toward the bottom of the league, but they were barely in the playoffs. And leadership decided, hey, we need to part ways with Vanni Sartini. Let's bring in Jesper Sorensen, who I grant very few in the United States or North America have heard of. And now look at where he's gotten them. And that speaks to the coaching job that he's been able to do with this group, to rally them around, to, Tyler, to your point, install that brand of soccer that they've been able to beat teams with. Pretty incredible.
Yeah. Can't say enough good things about what Jesper Sorensen has done. A coach that came in like just before preseason was going to start. And honestly, I didn't have him on my radar. Like I'd never heard of the guy when he first arrived in Vancouver. I didn't think much of the signing, and as such, I didn't really think Vancouver would do that well this season. But he took a team that finished 8th in the West last season in 2024. Yeah. Crashed out in round 1, I think. Yeah, round 1 to LAFC. And comes in to replace a coach like Vanni Sartini, who, I mean, we know for his charisma as well.
Bombasm.
I was trying to find the right word for it, but his spirit, we'll say.
It's a good way to put it,
but he comes in and fills in those shoes, but just the buy-in that he's been able to get from this group. And it's not like he went in the middle of the off season and said, oh, get me this guy, that guy, the other guy, get me this list of players so that I can play the way that I want to. No, he took a group that was already there, that wasn't playing up to its potential, and he managed to get them there. He's gotten the best of a lot of these players, especially Sebastian Berhalter, who this has been a breakout season for him.
Oh my goodness.
Basically, out of nothing, he's become an MLS Best 11 midfielder, an all-star in MLS, and now also putting up arguments for being called to the men's national team for the World Cup next year. And I mean, again, he came out of nowhere.
Yeah, they got rid of Berhalter in the U.S. men's national team.
Yeah, Brian White's having a fantastic year.
Down for long.
I know.
This. I mean, they've just gotten the best out of every single player, and it's impressive that buy-in. Thomas Müller is kind of a cherry on top at that point, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, he comes in and gives this team a boost kind of towards the middle of the season after, that loss in the CONCACAF Champions Cup final. There was a bit of a dip, and I think the signing of Müller kind of got them on the right track to finish the season strong. And here they are, man. I mean, for the Vancouver Whitecaps, a historic season. You've already been to, this is going to be your third final this year after winning the Canadian Championship and then CONCACAF Champions Cup final.
Yeah.
You have a chance to put a star on your crest, right? You have a chance to win a trophy. And I mean, this is going to be a memorable game for Vancouver Whitecaps fans. It's going to be a fun game, I think, for everyone involved. Just being able to watch two teams who, in my point of view, have played the most attractive soccer in the league this year. Yeah, I mean, it's a huge credit to Jesper Sorensen for getting this team where it is and for the work that he has done to have everyone have that spirit. Because go back to that semifinal against LAFC.
Right.
There is no way Vancouver should have won that game.
No,
I'm sorry, but there is no way that you go down to 10 men because Tristan Blackman, Defender of the Year, is sent off with a second yellow card. We were all saying in the watch along, like, oh, Jesper screwed it now because he should have taken Tristan Blackman off when he had the chance. And no, right? LAFC tie the game, but oh, wait, we're in extra time. And then someone else goes down, and now they're down to 9. And they're clearing balls off the line. The ball's hitting every single post. It's like, what is going on? And the defending was just ferocious.
Missing centers.
Like Vancouver, the players pulled out like the supernatural to hold on and take that game to penalties. And you don't do that unless you really truly believe what you are doing. And a lot of that has to go thanks to Jesper Sorensen and his work.
99.9% of the time, LAFC would win that match. Vancouver just managed to be the 0.1% where they really did the unthinkable. Incredible. I mean, come on. Really? Come on. Thank you for backing me up.
I agree with you. I thought you were going to keep rolling.
But you're going to keep looking.
I was like, he's just getting started.
I'm done.
No, I agree. I mean, I think, we talked about it with Jake a little bit earlier, but look, that match, because the San Diego match, let's just be honest, Vancouver wiped the floor with San Diego. I mean, they were clinical. They took every opportunity they had and they buried it. And then they just did what they are probably underrated at doing really well, which is defending. And they did it well, really well. They didn't have to go and keep doing what they needed to do in the first half. In the second half, San Diego was honestly a cakewalk compared to what they had to deal with LAFC. And yes, to your point, to both of y'all's points, like LAFC, had that game gone on for another 5 minutes, I don't think we would be talking about Müller. We'd be talking about Son right now and LAFC.
Are you sure?
I don't know, man.
The way they fluffed their line.
With the way they were holding on.
The bending, the amount of bending that happened, but not breaking, was insane. And then because we even said in the watch along, we were like, if Vancouver can just make it to penalties, they're going to be so happy. And they did. Ultimately, that's what happened. And Son, misses. Ball hit the post. But I mean, it's interesting because I agree. I think Vancouver, and I don't think this is a Müller thing, because it is absolutely something that we had seen a lot early on in the season. But they are a team that just didn't really know how to lose. Yeah. They had that mindset in every game. It felt like that they were going to win. Period. Not, we're going to try not to, try not to lose. Like, we're going to make something happen. Come hell or high water, we're getting 3 points out of this match. And it worked really well all the way up until the Champions Cup final. Yeah. And at that point, like, look, they had a little bit of a dip in their form, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't what a lot of what we all predicted on this show. And then Müller comes in and kind of revitalizes things and really gets them back on track. And yeah, it becomes that cherry on top. So it's been super impressive, because you look at Miami and you think, all right, well, I mean, they should be here, right?
Mhm.
Like we're talking about a team that literally has Lionel Messi, Luis Suarez, Jordi Alba, Sergio Busquets, and in the summer, Rodrigo de Paul.
Yeah.
Not to mention
Has
Rocco Rios.
benched
Tadeo
Luis
Linde.
Suarez, mind you.
No, what?
And the Teo Savetti.
Yeah. Henry, what'd you say?
I was just saying, has benched Luis Suarez. Like, Luis Suarez is on the bench.
Right.
Even.
Right. Like what world are we living in? And that is the matchup that you have this week. And so, like, yeah, they should be there. Vancouver should be there. But it has been really kind of awe-inspiring to see what has happened with Vancouver over the past year. And it's just fun, and yeah, you have to look at them as the underdog, I mean, if you're taking bets, Miami's playing at home. Miami has Lionel Messi and everybody else. And like, that's it. Like, but on paper, you look at the other side and you're like, but Sebastian Berhalter's been phenomenal, especially in the second part of the season, but all year. Müller, you have, Blackman, you've got a guy who has been really, really good and still won Defender of the Year, despite being out for just over 2 months before he played in this last match. Just so many little things. Like that's the kind of story that I like latch onto, because it's very much, it reminds me, I'm going to bring it back to Atlanta here. And I hate to do it this way. It reminds me of that Super Bowl.
Which one?
That one. You know which one I'm talking about. As a Falcons fan.
Had my
because
mic muted, but don't even, Sydney.
Oh, it's so painful to even talk about. It's like you have the Galactic Empire, right? And then you have just a little Rebel Alliance, and everybody's cheering for the Rebel Alliance. And in this case, weirdly enough, Vancouver is the Rebel Alliance, but they have Luke Skywalker. So there's your parallel that you can go. Omar, I mean, I'm getting there. Let me cook. All right. That's where we're at. I'm sorry. Yes. 28-3, Daniel. Thank you. Thank you for laying it out there specifically for all of us.
Yeah.
But no, it's going to be fun. I think overall, and I said it with Jake, but no matter what version of soccer you are a big fan of, whether it's the little chess pieces being moved around and the subs and the tactics, or you just want to watch an absolute crap show in a good way. I think this MLS Cup is going to give you that in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. And you guys alluded to, and Henry mentioned it, Suarez has been benched over the past few matches, and Mascherano has put in Savetti. And Savetti's form has been just tremendous. Is coming in as a starter, and what a ballsy move by Javier Mascherano to bench one of the best strikers of all time. Savetti again has been in great form. Tadeo Linde, tremendous match, a hat trick against NYCFC, who, by the way, guys, could have made it 2-2 if not for Rocco Rios Nova making an absolutely unbelievable save. So maybe if that save doesn't happen, we're talking about a whole different story, but you have to credit Mascherano for what he's done. And Tyler, I'm going to kind of call you out. And if the three of us kind of.
I mean, I've been very vocal about it. So let's go.
The three of us really doubted what Mascherano would be able to do as a coach, considering his limited track record. But now he's come in, and what a job he's done to get Inter Miami to this point, right? To the point where they're a win away from winning a final, MLS Cup final, and closing down Chase Stadium in style, because next year they'll be in Miami Freedom Park, right? And the city of Miami. So you got to credit him and the strings he's been able to pull and the switches he's been able to flip to get this team playing well. And it's not just Messi anymore. We kind of joke it's Messi and his friends. It's Allende. It's Savetti. It's, I mean, to an extent, Rios Novo. It's,
Rodriguez, yeah.
Yeah,
you have a lot of players that reinforce the stars.
Yeah, they sold Benek Kremaski to Serie A, And that was a move that, some people didn't agree with because it seemed like Kremesky didn't see he had a place in the team that Mascherano was trying to build. So that's a move that happened, and they haven't played any worse with him out of the picture or in Serie A with Parma. So that's another move that has sort of had a, I won't say good effect on the team, but they've been able to move forward without him. And yeah, just credit to Mascherano for getting Miami to this point. It's like I'm not saying that it would be impossible for him to get them to this point in the first place, but like I said, he's been able to flip some switches and make some decisions to get this team to where they are right now. So hats off to him, certainly.
Yeah. And I mean, look, you mentioned it. I've been a vocal
hater.
Okay. Yeah. Of Javier Mascherano. I mean, I still will not be convinced that he did a whole lot in the regular season to make his team better than what they are.
Right.
But I will argue with anybody that the moves he has made in the playoffs have made this team better than what they are.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, you go and you bench Luis Suarez, and now this happened a little bit earlier, but you bring in Rios Novo over a Star, like little things like that.
Yeah.
People, you hear a lot where fans will say the coach needs to grow up here and bench so-and-so. And they're absolutely right. But the reality of it is a lot of coaches will not, in fact, grow a pair and make those tough decisions.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, those are the coaches that you end up forgetting about because they don't win the silverware. It's the coaches that make the really hard decisions. And I have to give credit to Javier Mascherano because he made the very difficult decisions, not just one, but a few, in terms of personnel to swap in and out, coming up at the end of the season and then here in the playoffs. And so, yeah, I mean, I got to give credit to him for sure. I think he's made a difference. And I don't think, now this is a hot take and we'll never know, but I don't think that Miami makes it to MLS Cup had he not made those changes.
Yeah, and you have to give credit. Sorry, Henry. You have to give credit to the front office because what a signing Allende has turned out to be for Miami. What a signing that Savetti, and certainly in this playoffs, has turned out to be. So the front office has brought in, and of course the big signing was the Paulo, right? But Allende, Segovia to some extent, Savetti. Those are three core signings that this front office made for Miami to help get them to this point. Are they flashy names? No. Are they superstars? No. But they've been very key players in helping Atlanta or Miami get to this point right now. I talked about Silvetti, just the form that he's been in the playoffs since coming into the starting 11 for Mascherano and Inter Miami. So the front office has certainly pulled some strings and got into to this point, and the players that they've run have helped get them to this point. So yeah, absolutely credit to them. Absolutely credit to them.
And the thing is, Mascherano has been flexible with the lineup, has tried different things throughout the season, which is where I push back a little bit on what you said, Tyler, because I do think that he made adjustments and he adapted sometimes. Originally kind of going with the two up front with Suarez and Messi and kind of that strike partnership. And he held out on Suarez probably much longer than he should have. But then again, there wasn't really another true striker that they had on the roster. I mean, you had, I think Obando is his name, but he's been injured this whole time that they've had him. So he hasn't really even seen the field. But then now when you're forced to, because of a suspension, playing Messi in the false nine, exactly what you needed to do. and it works out very, very well. As you said, Allende has been a really great signing. Segovia over the season has been great. The playoffs he's been kind of quiet, but over the season he's been solid. So yeah, I just think he's managed to make some tough decisions, because that's never easy for a coach. I think it's very easy as a fan to be like, oh well, why doesn't the manager do this, that, change things around? And here's the thing. I think as a coach, it's kind of, in a sense, a thankless job, because if you lose, it's your fault as the coach because you didn't pick a great lineup, or you didn't make the right subs or whatever. And then if you win, oh, it's because the players showed out.
Right.
And if you go and start trying to make bold changes to your lineup and it doesn't work, you look like an idiot.
Yeah.
And so for Mascherano to not just the Luis Suarez Silvetti change, but the Rocco Rios Novo over Oscar Ustadi change, the Ian Frey over Cello Vegant change, and many others that he's done. It takes, as Tyler put it, it takes someone growing a pair to make those kinds of decisions, and ultimately they paid off, and he absolutely deserves credit for that.
Yeah. How do you guys think Drake Callender feels right about now, by the way?
Hey, Drake Callender didn't get him there.
Exactly. For sort of the forgotten man in the Miami roster, I guess. But I feel like we kind of
2020 Leagues Cup 2023 hero.
Yeah.
Hey, no, that's certainly
got him in
certainly the case.
National team for a minute.
Yeah. Just real quick, I didn't get a chance. I was traveling to see the conference finals. Of course, saw the score lines, and I feel like the score line certainly flattered Miami in that match. San Diego, and credit to them. What a tremendous season for San Diego. What a tremendous season that Mikey Varas has had coaching that team, that Tyler Hoops has had putting that team together. I don't know if we've heard the last of them. We'll see if hopefully they don't have to drop off that St. Louis did in year 2 and year 3.
Yep. Wow.
But no, what a start to their life in MLS. And then New York City FC, guys. I don't know if we thought that they'd get as far as the Final Four. And what a great job by Pascal Janssen in his first season. And what a good job by that front office to bring in, the players that they did to help New York City FC make this playoff run. And for a time, guys, toward the end of the regular season, they were unplayable. They're absolutely on otherworldly form. New York City was, and it really propelled them to get to the Final Four, to get to the conference final. I don't know if we've heard the last from them. They put out their roster decisions. Maxi Morales could be back again for another year, and
oh my gosh, he's never going to stop playing, is he?
He could be playing until he's 70 years old for NYCFC. But yeah, they have maybe a few decisions to make on their end. It's certainly San Diego some decisions to make on their end to hopefully get these two teams to the next level. And that's a discussion across front offices really around MLS. What can we do moving into 2026? A pivotal 2026, guys, because, of course, it's a World Cup year, but then it's the final season before the big calendar change. So very pivotal offseason for a lot of clubs out there. Certainly San Diego, certainly New York City. Speaking of New York City, Red Bulls, who are reported to be bringing in Michael Bradley as their head coach. We'll see what becomes of that. But yeah, going to be pivotal offseason for a lot of clubs. And can clubs like San Diego, can clubs like NYCFC, FC Cincinnati, LAFC with a new coach, perhaps Mark Dos Santos, the longtime Cherundolo assistant, what can they do? Atlanta United, certainly, what can they do under Tata Martino to elevate themselves and get themselves back to competitiveness? So it's going to be interesting to see what this offseason looks like for a lot of teams as these roster decisions are flowing in now, and these decisions are being made for these players here. Guys.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, And I definitely want to touch on, because that was kind of the other news, with the Red Bulls today and MLS as a whole. Daniel, we'll hit on your question about Busquets and Alba for sure. I have to give an intermission real quick.
What's that?
Temporarily. One,
What's up?
if you are watching this for the first time, or if you're not, either way, if you're in a boat of people, that includes those who look down below on YouTube and you haven't subscribed to the channel, don't be in that boat. Subscribe to the channel.
Smash it.
And then you can get out of that boat, because you don't want to be in the boat with those people.
Yeah.
Subscribe to the
Why are we
channel.
talking about boats?
I don't know. I really want to be on a boat right now. Go subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It helps us out a lot. We truly appreciate it. We'll be doing a watch along for MLS Cup. So we'll be on the YouTube, hanging out, reactions from us. We'll be watching it. Y'all watch it, hang out, jump in the chat. Probably have some guests on. But it'll be a good time. And look, it's like hanging out, having a beer with your buddies at the bar, and we're just talking about the game. So that will be Saturday. Y'all come hang out with us for that. Join the Patreon if you haven't already. Patreon.com/Scarves and Spikes. We have a lot of stuff that's getting ready to be pushed out. So lots of content, but it all gets you into the Discord. It all gets you some other benefits, but our Discord's popping. We have a lot of fun on there, different channels, everything else.
Yeah.
And also go to scarvesandspikes.com. It's where you get all of your Atlanta United news, World Cup news as well, because we have a big Friday coming up with the World Cup draw. Sydney will be in DC for the draw.
Yep.
And
content for that coming to the website as well.
Yes,
maybe
sure. We're going to have a big World Cup hub that's going to be released, and lots going on there. So stay tuned for that. But that will be Friday. And while you're on the website, go visit the store, because you could also grab you a hat, a hoodie, a shirt, a Christmas.
Oh, we got holiday gear, guys.
Holiday stuff.
Holiday shirts, holiday mugs.
This is beautiful. Okay, look at this. Just look at this. Look at that.
So weird seeing my face on a shirt.
But it's there. You've made it. You've made it. All right.
Heck yeah.
But no, we got mugs, beer glasses, as you've seen me probably drinking out of this whole time.
Yep.
Anyway, go on there, get you some merch. It's a good time. Black Friday deal, which is still going on, even though it's Cyber Monday. It'll be going on for a few more days. But yeah, when you go SNS BF10, so think Scarves and Spikes Black Friday 10. Easy enough. SNS BF10 gets you 10% off on the store. And most of it.
And subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeart. If you want to take the podcast with you, if you want to listen anytime, definitely leave a review there. 5 stars, but let us know how we're doing on the podcast feed. You get Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeart. Let us know how we're doing. Subscribe there. Scarves and Letter and Spikes on social media. On the X, I should say. ScarvesandSpikes.com on Blue Sky. The Scarves and Spikes on Instagram Threads and Facebook.com/ScarvesandSpikes.
Daniel.
So what was your other question?
Oh, well, no, I was going to say, I don't remember. I'm sorry. Daniel had a question and was saying, is this the final game for Jordi Alba and Sergio Busquets?
Yes, they retire right after. They ride off into the sunset.
Yes, together.
Will they be doing so as MLS Cup champions? We will find out.
We will see. It is wild. It's the end of an era.
Yeah.
Because any of them could be in that boat, by the way.
Yeah.
More boats.
Retirement boats.
Any of them could be retiring, but
yeah,
Messi has decided not to. Rodrigo de Paul, he might go back to Spain. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with him, but Alba and Busquets, they're on the way out.
Yeah,
man, it's kind of crazy because these are guys that I watched growing up. Like Alba and Busquets, and those Barcelona teams, and the Spanish national team. Messi, obviously, Suarez as well. Müller with Germany in the 2014 World Cup. That's one I remember quite fondly. Yeah, I mean it's bittersweet to see that these guys are obviously at the tail end of their careers, but it's great that we get a chance to watch them up close now here in MLS. It's great for the league. They're obviously enjoying themselves. So yeah, it means a lot from someone who's been following the beautiful game for over a decade now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well said.
Yeah.
So Michael Bradley, guys. To end with,
You can't talk about everything he's
Another
talking
Bradley.
about Michael Bradley.
no, I agree. I mean, it's
No,
I concur with everything he said. Not to kind of move this on too quickly, but definitely concur because Busquets legend, Alba legend, and we kind of joke about Messi and Prince and all of that. But yeah, it's great to see them. Now maybe they will retire wanting more trophies in MLS, absolutely. But yeah, it's good to see them. It's great to see that materialize, that they were able to come here and yeah, closing out or riding off to the sunset, like you said, Henry. And again, will it be as MLS Cup champions? We'll see, but their careers certainly speak for themselves, and their reputations as players certainly speak for themselves. So we'll see what's next for them. I don't know, maybe coaching or something like that. I'm sure they'll be involved with the game in some form and fashion. But yeah, final match for Jordi Alba and Sergio Busquets.
and now the Bradley.
Now Michael Bradley. And Wilfred Nancy, guys. Wilfred Nancy. Looks like it is confirmed he's going to Celtic, which
Wow.
I don't know. I just don't get that move for him. I don't like
You
it.
think?
I don't think he's going to be under immense pressure by the time, even before he steps out the plane. I mean, it's. I'm not a Celtic fan. I don't really follow the Scottish Premiership. I know it's been Celtic and Rangers forever, and everybody else, mainly Celtic, in recent years. But I don't get that move for Celtic. I really don't. I mean, Nazi, that's to take nothing away from what a great coach he is, what he's done with first Montreal and now the Columbus Crew, but I don't get it. I really don't. So all the best to him, but we'll see if that pans out, and we'll see how much rope Celtic supporters and the Celtic front office give him. I don't think it that much, but I don't know. Maybe he wins 3 or 4 championships with Celtic. And then Michael Bradley, of course, has success with Red Bulls too, but this is MLS. This is not MLS Next Pro. This is MLS. And I know his last name is Bradley, his dad, considering the career he's had as a coach in MLS and the U.S. men's national team, certainly plays a big part in Michael Bradley getting this role. But how much rope will the Red Bulls front office give Michael Bradley is a big question. This is a club that needs a big reset after missing playoffs in 2025 for the first time in a while. Made MLS Cup 2024, nowhere near MLS Cup in 2025. Can Michael Bradley get them back to relevancy, Henry Tyler, in 2026 and beyond? Terrific player. He gets booed every time he walks into Mercedes-Benz Stadium. I'm sure that'll continue in 2026
won't change
and beyond. So I'll be listening out for that. But just 2 interesting moves. One in MLS, one in the Scottish Premiership. So I don't know, Henry. What do you think? Just about Nancy to Celtic and reportedly Bradley to Red Bulls. What are you thinking?
I'll start with Nancy. I think that obviously he's ready for a new challenge. With Columbus, I mean, he already has won trophies with them, an MLS Cup and a Leagues Cup. Very, very close to CONCACAF Champions Cup. But he's done a phenomenal job in Columbus. And now, I mean, he's just moving on to something better, a little bit closer to home.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's always a good thing. And Celtic is a storied club as well. So you have to think that he's kind of the mastermind of what this modern Columbus project has been. And so if he can translate that to Celtic, then I think he's going to do okay. But I guess we have to wait and see, because managers, sometimes they thrive in a league and then struggle in another, and especially because MLS is such a unique league because of all the different rules and restrictions and things that affect the on-field stuff.
Yeah.
We'll see, I suppose. But my main worry is going to be, how does Columbus replace a guy like Wilfred Nancy, right?
Mhm.
Who do you bring in to kind of continue that? This is a roster that is kind of in between. I want to say, like, a lot of it is, these are like Nancy's guys that, you know, they were brought in to fulfill specific functions within his system of play.
Right.
But how do you get someone who can use these guys to their strengths and kind of put it all together in 2026? I think that's going to be interesting if they go for like another foreign coach from another league or something like that. I guess we'll see, but that's going to be a major question: is who can they bring in to maintain Columbus's level of competitiveness? And then as for Bradley, uh, it's a risk, certainly, promoting
Yeah.
a coach from MLS Next Pro to MLS, because this is a whole different monster, right? You're not dealing
Mhm.
with uh, mostly youngsters. You're dealing with experienced players. You're dealing with global stars, right? Against you in Messi and Müller and Son and all these other names. So I'm interested to see how he does. There is precedent for that working, and the most famous example is Steve Cherundolo, who was, I think, before taking over at LAFC, he was manager of the Las Vegas
Las Vegas
Lights.
Lights. Yeah. The
So,
championship.
so yeah, there's precedent for that step up working, and obviously the Red Bulls are an organization that, you know, they are a global soccer giant. They have
Yeah.
teams all over the globe, successful teams. They are run by the head of soccer is one of the most famous managers in the modern game, in Jurgen Klopp. So I'm interested to see if they truly believe that Michael Bradley has what it takes to take the Red Bulls back to, you know, the top of the East and the MLS elite, which is where they have been, and to making the playoffs for the next 15 plus seasons, as you know, that streak was broken. Then we'll see. Clearly, they see something that makes him stand out, and we're gonna see if that was the right choice or
So,
not.
just real quick before Tyler jumps in, I think I'll just hit on two more things real quick about Nancy and Bradley. Nancy, I think, what does success look like for him at Celtic? I think their back office over there in Celtic needs to determine that. Of course, this has been a club with tremendous success in the Premiership. What is that level of success? What is that benchmark that Nancy has to clear to become, in Celtic size, in their fan size, a success? So that's the question you have to ask. And then second point on Bradley, or second point on not Henri Nancy, his top assistant Kwame Ampadu, who is a Ireland native, is making the trip over there with him to Celtic, it appears. So I thought Ampadu might be a chance he stays in MLS or go with Nancy, but looks like he will go with Nancy over to Celtic. And then Bradley, yeah. I feel like his last name will draw a lot of headlines. Oh, it's Michael Bradley, former U.S. men's national team great, his father and all of that. Was the measures for success with him? Will Red Bull be patient? Will Red Bull Global be patient with him to let him do what he needs to do to get this team playing, like you said, to the levels it needs to play at? So I just wanted to throw those two quick points out because Tyler, I want to give you the floor here to kind of get your thoughts on both moves here.
Yeah, I mean, with Bradley, I think it can absolutely work. My next question is, what does Red Bulls do in the offseason in terms of signings?
Mm-hmm.
Because they have a they have a decent roster. They have some guys that can absolutely make things happen. and I see Leo Messia's comment in the chat. Maybe not talking about this team particularly, but in Red Bull's case, they don't really have a quote unquote star or superstar or really anything close to it. They've been very, very inconsistent.
Maybe
over the past
Forsberg,
few
but
years. Forsberg, yeah, and look, the team is better.
Yeah.
When Forsberg is playing, but I think like it doesn't feel like a cohesive unit at this point. So I'm very curious what they're going to do in the offseason from a player perspective. But I mean, Michael Bradley can come in there, I think, and with a few fresh faces, make the Red Bulls competitive. I do believe that. I don't know that there's really anybody better right now that I could give you off the top of my head that just would fit. I think this is a name that could very, very much do well. Because if we're being honest, when you're talking about Red Bull soccer, not every coach is going to fit that type of profile.
Yeah.
And at least here with Michael Bradley, you've got a guy who has been around the block, knows somewhat of the style, the team, the location. There's a lot of things that go in favor of a hire like Michael Bradley. So I'm not mad at it. Wilfried Nancy, I am mad at. I don't want him to leave MLS from an MLS point of view, from a person covering a team and as a fan of that team who has to play him at least twice a year. I'm good riddance. Get out.
Goodbye.
But I'm very intrigued because we always joke around about mini leagues. You've always have like the top 2 teams, top 3 teams. Well, the Scottish Premiership is that to the infinite. Like it's
if you're not Celtic or Rangers,
and
you
it's
have no
Rangers,
chance.
which is actually interesting because right now Celtic is in second place and Rangers are in fourth. Weirdly enough, at the top of the table
Heart
right
of
now,
Midlothian,
Hearts of
baby.
Midlothian. Crazy.
What? Hearts
Yeah.
of what?
Midlothian.
Hearts of Midlothian.
Heart of Midlothian.
What?
Hearts of
Yeah,
Midlothian.
look it up. Look it up.
That's made up.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Hey,
No,
man,
it's not.
the Scottish Premiership is a different beast entirely. And then between Celtic and Rangers is Motherwell right now. It's such a weird dynamic. There's a lot of season left to go.
Of Midlothian?
Stephen Glass's former
Hearts of
team.
Midlothian, yeah.
You've worked for Motherwell, right? Stephen Glass,
That's
our good
crazy.
Yeah. Well, it was Aberdeen. Yeah. I mean, it's just,
friend. No, I didn't.
Then you have a Dundee United and a Dundee. Like it's so interesting.
I'm gonna be real.
Sick of
I had no idea. I didn't know any other Scottish Premiership teams other than like Celtic, Rangers, and Aberdeen because of Atlanta United.
Aberdeen,
If it hadn't been for Atlanta, I would have no idea who Aberdeen is. But like, I could not name you 5 teams from the Scottish Premiership. That's how much that league focuses on literally just Celtic and Rangers.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
look, that's the thing. Celtic and Rangers, they're going to be at the top no matter what. In a way, it feels like a safe bet for Wilfried Nancy. And Wilfried Nancy is he's not the type of guy to go and have the safe bet because you should be able to. And I don't think I'm really far off the mark here. You should be able to step into a team like Celtic and with hands tied behind your back and blindfolded win the league or come very close to it.
No, win the league. God forbid you finish second behind
Rangers. Right, yeah. The riots will be happening for sure. Well, you should be able to handle that. So, look, they're not doing bad right now. They've won 4 of the last 5. Like they're second in the standings. Like they're going to get there. So then you bring in Nancy, and it's just like, what does Nancy need to change? Really, not a whole lot. Don't go into it and overthink it. But then that it negates the whole idea of coming into a project and making it better because he did make Montreal better. He made Columbus better. Like it just feels like a sidestep, like a lateral move in a way, because he's done so many great things, and this just feels like the safe move in a way. And I don't like that. I would like to see him go and continue to kind of go against the odds and overcome them because that's what he's done in Major League Soccer, and I freaking love it.
Yeah.
Well,
We'll
it's
see.
it's
see.
a platform. Also, it could be a springboard to
Yeah.
hitting one of the top 5 European leagues. I mean, who knows? We could be talking about him managing Liverpool in a few months if things continue the way they've been going. I say
I
that
don't
tongue
know
in
about
cheek,
that,
but
but
I say that tongue in cheek, but
Slot
these
out?
leagues do look they do look for coaches in
Yeah.
leagues like Scotland, like the
Yeah.
Netherlands, like these other ones that aren't top 5, but they're there, and the quality of play is good enough for them to consider that, okay, you can make something happen here. You could probably maybe we could try you out in this bigger environment. So
Yeah.
it could be a good step for him.
Yeah. We'll see. And look,
Yeah.
if you get a Celtic and you attach another trophy and another successful team to your name, yeah, it becomes very easy to move on to an even bigger team. And so, look, if it works out for him, more power to him. I just want to see him. I
Right.
want to see him defeat the odds, but
Yeah.
whatever. We have enough
Defeat
narrative.
the odds and overcome Heart of Midlothian to win
Yeah.
the Scottish Premiership for the
Scottish
100th year.
Over
That's
Hearts
insane.
and Motherwell.
That is insane.
All right. It's been a busy episode.
Yeah.
MLS Cup this weekend. We're doing a watch along. So y'all come hang out with us on Saturday for the watch along. Come back Wednesday for
What
our
time's that
Atlanta
starting,
show.
by the way? Sorry, Tyler. What
Our
time's that
Atlanta
starting,
show
by the way?
at 7. The MLS Cup, the game starts at 2:30. Well, their coverage starts at 2:30. We will be on usually about 15 minutes beforehand, so about 2:15. So y'all jump in, hang out with us, and besides that, make sure you have subscribed to the YouTube. Patreon is big. Patreon.com/Scarves and Spikes. Get in our Discord, get all the other content coming out. Go to the store, scarvesandspikes.com. Get you a nifty holiday sweater / shirt, mug, cup, hoodie, hat, everything else. And make sure you're following us on all the social media, Scarves and Spikes, and Scarves in Spikes on X/Twitter.
Tyler, where are you on social media, by the way?
I am at ATL Pilgrim.
Henry, where are you on social media? Unmute yourself and tell us where you are in social media. Unmute yourself. There you go.
Mike. Almost done. At HA Higita on Twitter and Blue Sky, at HA_Higita on Instagram.
SH Writes on X, SH Writes on Blue Sky, SidH.soccer on Instagram and Threads. And as Tyler said, we are on Scarves, the letter and Spikes on X, scarvesandspikes.com, on Blue Sky, Scarves and Spikes everywhere else. But follow us and yes,
stay tuned to the
part of
channel.
our social
We got,
squad.
Got lots of good stuff for MLS Cup coming out over the week.
Yes.
Happy December, y'all.
Yes,
Happy
indeed.
December. Next for
2025 is almost over. That's crazy.
It really is.
It's moving
It really
too fast.
is.
Cue the music.
Thanks, everyone.
Was I muted? Was I the unlucky recipient of the mute?
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. Whatever.
Because Henry.
Maybe I was. I don't know.
Henry, I see you're trying to grow some hair in the face area.
Indeed.
I applaud this effort. You're doing great.
Thanks. I'm not sure that I'm doing much of anything.
Beard products for Henry for Christmas.
All right. Yeah. Drop some recommendations in the chat.
You're right.
Message me on the Discord. Ping me with some names for beard things, so that by the time the season starts up in 2026, this is full.
I would love to see that.
Good beard oil in your set. And
a good beard oil. Do you have a recommendation there, Tyler?
I do have a few. Let me see who would like to sponsor us first.
Yeah. No kidding.
Beard product companies out there, you can sponsor my beard.
There's actually one in Chattanooga that I've been using as local. I will get you their information. And if you like it, then we can talk about it on the show next time.
Bet.
Nice.
Let's do that.
Thanks, everyone.